Game 2 of the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic is about to start between Holy Spirit and Don Bosco Prep as we bring it to you live here on BFA Sports. The starting lineups for Don Bosco: Eric Becker, the shortstop, leads off. Charlie Grantel in center field. J.P. Kuzik in left. Kevin Jaxel is the pitcher. Kevin Murray at first. Alan Hernandez is the designated hitter. Caden Dana at third. Charlie Bautista in right. And Jack Canizero is the catcher for Don Bosco. They'll face this Holy Spirit defense. Jaden Schertel and Tyler Gross, your battery today. Left to right in the outfield, Solari, Cohen, McNatt. And around the diamond from 5 to 3 is Spina, Petroch, Egri, and Hegeman. They are the Spartans of Holy Spirit here as we are set to bring you this Coaches vs. Cancer Classic matchup on BFA Sports. Mike Gill, Doug Stasic set to bring you all the action live as the particulars here. Atlantic City falls to Bridgeton 7-6 in the first one, and now game number 2 of the weekend here on this Saturday slate, Doug, and it's a little windy. All of a sudden, the wind just started to pick up here, so that could make for an interesting game.
Well, it's interesting, Mike. I was talking to Coach Billy Kern yesterday as we were kind of parading the facility, getting things set up, and the one thing he did mention, talking about the wind, for some reason, very difficult to hit the ball deep into the right field of the park, and the wind tends to actually drag it out to the left, and that's what the flagpole looks like right about now. So this lineup is certainly going to be impressive. I could say you have a little bit of a baseball civil war, North versus South. Don Bosco with 14 Division I commits, which is just really insane to think about from a high school level. So they are going to showcase a lot of their power, but Holy Spirit in their own right, one of the top-ranked teams, if not the top-ranked team in the state, coming off of a week that they got to face Chase Petty. And so a guy like Trevor Cohen was able to hit the ball hard and put the ball into play, and the Spartans are ready to go for this one, and we'll call it Defend the South, if that makes sense. A lot of dignitaries here as well, Mike.
Yeah, highly anticipated matchup, as you mentioned. Anytime a South Jersey team matches up against a North Jersey team, everybody wants to kind of see how the baseball down here matches up with the baseball up there. Well, one of the best teams in our area, Holy Spirit, will get a chance to show what they are made of with Jaden Schertel. Will get the call on the mound for the Spartans, facing that tough Iron Mike lineup from Don Bosco.
Yeah, and this is going to be an electric. This is going to be an electric event for sure. We have TJ Hunt, the director of PBR New Jersey, in the house. He's sitting right next to us behind home plate. I'm sure he'll be jumping on at some point here during the game. If there's anybody that knows these teams inside and out from a college prospect perspective, it is certainly TJ Hunt. We appreciate all of his support of baseball throughout the state of New Jersey, and certainly we join him on the summer circuit here at BFA Sports. So looking forward. JT Kroger also in the house. JT has been camped out since 5 a.m. this morning, making sure that he had a seat right behind the backstop. So JT Kroger also very in tune with the landscape of New Jersey baseball. I'm sure we'll hear from him as well, Mike.
All right, Schertel set to take the mound. And his battery mate today, of course, Gross behind the plate for Holy Spirit. Tyler Gross, the catcher. The left-hander, Jaden Schertel, getting his warm-ups. And, of course, this is probably the best lineup they will face all season long. They lost 5-2 on opening day to Mainland. And, of course, Dave Hegeman got the start in that game, gave up a couple of home runs in that first inning. They settled in, and then Mainland scratched a couple out late in that game. But this will be a different offensive lineup they'll face with Don Bosco.
Yeah, and Schertel, the two-sport athlete, has a cannon for an arm from a quarterback standpoint, stand out at St. Joe's, both in baseball and football, before he transferred to Holy Spirit. He was on the mound just the other day, had some nice late life on his ball, does real well with the breaking pitches, not afraid to mix it up around the zone. And I believe he was sitting around 86, 87 with most of his pitches on the fastball. So lots of guys interested in seeing this marquee matchup. And as we get into Don Bosco, when they get on the mound, I'll be sure to lend an ear to my good buddy TJ Hunt. Tell us about the very deep Don Bosco stable of pitching.
Eric Becker, the shortstop, will lead things off for Don Bosco here in the first. Andy Granitel, number 2. So Schertel will face this Don Bosco lineup for the first time here as we are set to start things off in the Coaches versus Cancer Game 2 of this 4-game Saturday slate. 4 games tomorrow as well. Entertaining first game. It was 4-0. Ryan Master had a no-hitter going. He was pulled from the game with 10 strikeouts, and the bullpen just could not get the job done. Bridgeton scored 6 in the 6th and then 1 in the 7th to win that game. Atlantic City was up 4-0.
Well, nothing better than some breakfast baseball. And to have a comeback like that, that's a big win for a program like Bridgeton. That's kind of turned into a local South Jersey rivalry. Every year it's a game everyone looks forward to, the Bulldogs versus the Vikings.
So this is a game that you would only see in a featured tournament like this, kind of a showcase type of tournament for these high school baseball teams here at the Coaches versus Cancer. Boy, we did not have a 1 mile per hour wind in that first game. It has really picked up here in game number 2.
Yeah, it certainly has. We're ready to go and underway, and the RK Chevrolet keys to the game is going to start right here. Can the Holy Spirit Spartans limit the number of base runners early in this one to Don Bosco?
Schertel's first pitch over for a called strike, and we're started here from the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. Game 2, Holy Spirit, Don Bosco. 0-1, Schertel. Second pitch, a deuce over for a called strike 2. 0-2 to the leadoff man, Becker.
Good start from Schertel. Doesn't look like he's trying to lead with the fastball after that breaking ball, though. Wouldn't be surprised. Try to get him to go low and away here.
Schertel steps off. Oh, no balls, 2 strikes. Jaden Schertel, left-handed thrower, facing the left-handed swinging Becker. The pitch is inside for a ball, 1-2.
Interesting waist pitch there. Not bad, though, that it's inside. It's,
The 1-2 pitch is hit out to left. Solari camps out, makes the grab, 1 away here in the first. So Shane Solari, the left fielder, heading to Villanova.
Nice put-out pitch there. After coming inside on Becker, tries to go low and away, make him earn it, and he did, and was able to hang that ball up there in the air. And a guy that's paraded the outfield for many moons, Johnny Monell Sr. in the house. He just came up and rubbed my bald head. It was him and his son. Got a chance to throw out one of the first pitches ceremonially today.
Andy Granitel, the center fielder, taking some hacks for Don Bosco in the 2-hole, dressed in white with the maroon pins. First offering downstairs. Second pitch is hit up into the backstop for a foul ball. 1-1.
Yeah, Mike, interesting setup too here at Mainland. You got a very short porch from a backstop standpoint. Way overhead because we're right on New Road, which is kind of busy. So any ball that's hit straight up is going to get knocked down by the fence. But not a lot of room to roam behind the catcher.
1-1, raped into left. Solari back and makes the catch. So Shane Solari is 2 for 2 on balls hit to left field. And it's 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the first as Jaden Schertel working quick.
Yeah, nothing wrong there from a tempo standpoint. I mean, keep this thing going. Be interesting to see from a chess match, a guy like Kusick, if he decides to step out here and try to make Schertel a little bit uncomfortable as he seems to be in a groove a little early.
J.P. Kusick offers the first pitch, beats it foul. 0-1 to Kusick, left fielder for Don Bosco, making the long journey down the parkway. Jaden Schertel.
Dude, we are getting sandblasted.
Pitch is high and away. Well, the gnats were coming out in the first game because there was no wind. It was so stiff that the gnats were starting to come. Now they have just gotten absolutely Rochambeau'd.
I feel like I'm going to need Braille to call this game with this dirt blown in my face.
The 1-1 is ripped to second. Eggery stays down over to first, and Hegeman squeezes. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jaden Schertel. No runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the first. 0-0. Kevin Jackson will pitch for Don Bosco. We'll get you the particulars on him in just a second. CJ Eggery, Jaden Schertel, Trevor Cohen, Shane Solari, Steven Petras, David Hegeman, Ryan Spina, Vince Spina, Tyler Gross, the lineup that Kevin Jackson, the right-hander, will face today, Doug. And this guy's got some credentials. He'll be pitching at the next level.
Yeah, he certainly does. So courtesy of PBR New Jersey, your stats on Kevin Jackson, the University of Virginia commit. He is a junior, and we would anticipate to see him in the mid to high 80s with some of his velo as we get the party started.
Behind him, Kuzik, Granitel, Batista in the outfield. 5-3 in the infield. Dana, Becker, Pilla, Murray, and Jaxel Canizario is your battery for Don Bosco Prep. CJ Eggery start things off, the Ventnor product at Holy Spirit. I had the pleasure of having him as my leadoff hitter for 3 years. Ground ball, tough play, deep in the hole, over to first. Eggery beating it up down the line, and the first out is recorded. So 6-3 on the putout. 1 pitch, 1 out.
All right, so Jaxel flashes 90. How's that to get things started?
Here's Schertel, the Spartans pitcher, the left-handed swinger. Jackson gets one and pinks the black for a strike. 0-1 to start things off for Kevin Jackson.
Yeah, the one thing with the Spartan lineup, man, they can certainly hit. They represent.
Ball's laced into left center field. Back on it to right around the fence is Granell. And the catch is made out in deep left center field. Nice ride by Jaden Schertel. But now, Doug, this wind is going to be a factor with the ball riding out to left center.
Listen, man, those outfielders, whatever they're getting, I don't know if it's a free hot dog or pretzel, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to have to earn their keep today. That ball was hanging up there, and he went a long way. So big credit out there to the center fielder, Granitel.
Here's Trevor Cohen, the Spartan center fielder. And that ball's laced down the left side. So Holy Spirit faced Chase Petty on Tuesday, throwing 100, and now 10 miles per hour slower, and this guy's throwing 90. So that shows you what they've seen so far. This Spartan offensive line has had top pitching thrown at them all season long.
And Cohen with the triple against Petty in that first inning.
Ball's on the outside part of the plate. Cohen was my center fielder for 3 seasons. He's heading to Rutgers. And he is one of the better center fielders I've ever seen. He covers the entire outfield. Left-handed swinging Cohen facing Jaxel. And that ball is fouled up down the third base side. Currently, Trevor's brother Gavin, he'll be a player.
Got a couple guys from the back here, Mike. Actually, that's frozen, Ryan. Got to change a shot.
Ball is laced into second base. Easy over. Hit hard, but right at the second baseman, Dana, who makes the play. 4-3 on the putout. 3 up, 3 down for the Spartans here in the first. We head to the top of the second inning. Nothing here on BFA Sports. All right, top two here in Linwood, Mainland High School, site of the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. And the pitcher, Kevin Jaxel, steps to the plate versus Jaden Schertel. A couple of clean innings for both pitchers to start things off here. And Jaxel hits one down the right side. Foul.
Well, I was saying, Coach Kern from Mainland said that one's a difficult one to get a lot of hard contact out and make the ball carry to right field, but Jaxel went with that pitch, and he hit it a long way, but it's just a long strike, as they say, Mike.
Yeah, and he was a little late on that, so Schertel got ahead of him. 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out here, top two. Jaxel, the pitch from Schertel, is down in the dirt, 2-1. It'll be Jaxel, Murray, and Hernandez due up this inning for Don Bosco. Schertel kicks, delivers, and that one's on the inside part of the plate. Called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Jaxel is a big dude, man.
And that one's just on the inside. Missed Jaden Schertel all around the plate on this at bat. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes. Schertel stares in for the sign, working quick. Kicks and delivers. And that pitch is just low.
Well, I guess lucky for him, he's so tall.
So they're sending a runner in here. And that's going to be Matt Courtney running. So Matt Courtney running for Jaxel. I'm imagining it's a burned pinch runner in the second inning here, because Jaxel's certainly not coming out of the game.
No, Jaxel, but I believe in high school you can run for the pitcher.
At any point?
Mm-hmm. It just has to be the same runner. So, like, he'll be married to him essentially the rest of the way.
Murray fouls one back. Kevin Murray, the first baseman for Don Bosco. Well, Murray's a big boy himself, but next to Jaxel, he's a small gentleman.
Yeah. Funny how that works out.
Schertel, ooh. Caught Courtney leaning just a little bit. Courtney dives back safely. 0-1 the count to Murray. Alan Hernandez on deck. Caden Dana follows him. Schertel. And that ball's ripped to left field. Solari back on it and calmly makes the catch. So 3 balls to Solari, and he has been up for the challenge on all 3. 1 away here in the second, bringing up Alan Hernandez, the designated hitter. That ball was hit pretty hard. So Hernandez, the right-handed hitter, will face the lefty Schertel. 1 out here in the top of the second. Nobody across in this one. 0-0. Holy Spirit, Don Bosco. First base runner of the game, Courtney, is over at first. Schertel kicks and heads over to first base.
We'll go to the BFA side-by-side pop. So the old preview 3. And go to cut.
Runner goes. Throw from Gross off the bag, and Egri can't bring it over. I think he probably would have got in there. Got a good jump.
Previews on the right and your cuts on the left. The wind, Mike's grabbing a hold of my book and almost wrecked your ears.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Courtney steals the base, so runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the second. Hernandez takes the ball outside.
I mean, I feel like I'm watching a college team with just a look at these guys in their pinstripes. They're huge.
So Gross is going to go out and talk to Schertel. They'll mix up on the signs there. Runner at second base is Courtney. Hernandez at the plate. And Dana waits on deck. Nothing, one out here.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting. So with Dana, the lefty on deck, you got to think maybe something on the pull side, although that lefty on lefty matchup's kind of tough. Now they're coming inside on him.
Up and away.
That's at least where you set him up.
That doesn't mean he's always going to hit his spot, right?
No. As a hitter, you got to almost anticipate that. One out runner at second base, you got to figure a hitter wants to go the other way, so you want to try to keep him inside him if possible here.
He is right up on the plate, too. I mean, his feet are actually over the chalk line. And that one,
that was nasty.
Little curve over. Get me over curve there.
The 3-0 curve.
Three and one. Set up inside. Pitch is down and away. So Alan Hernandez draws a walk. And he's a one-out base runner. First and second, one down. Caden Dana steps to the plate. He is the Don Bosco third baseman.
Yeah, Holy Spirit right here needs a ground ball. I mentioned it at the start of this game. They were going to need to limit the amount of Don Bosco runners early in this one.
Pitch is over. Just a little low, I guess. It's close. One 0. Courtney, the runner at second. Schertel kicks. And that one is hit to second. Egri comes up on it, over to short, and Petrach's throw hits the runner and stays in play, but Courtney comes all the way around to score. They get the lead out at second base, and the runner goes from first over to, well, they got the out at second, so the runner is out there, but the runner at first went all the way around to third, so good heads-up base running there by Hernandez.
Hey, he got it, hold of it. You're always talking about making a productive out, and that certainly was the case here. So the Ironmen taking advantage of some good hustle plays, and that was a tough one. But Spear was looking for the tailor-made double play, but being a big guy like Hernandez, he got down the line. That was a hard 90.
You know, that ball looked like it was hit hard off the bat, but it got to Egri a little slower than it looked, and then he got the lead out and then the throw as Bautista steps in. So 2 down. And over to first goes Schertel. Runner at first with 2 down here. In the second, 1-0 Ironmen. Swing and a miss by Bautista, the right fielder.
Ball just gets by there.
Charles Bautista.
That's side by side. You won't worry about missing. And we'll runner on. 2 outs. We'll go to the BFA side by side.
Schertel looking over at first. Big lead over at first base by Dana. Schertel delivers. It's upstairs. 2-1. Caden Dana hit it to a fielder's choice. He's on first. Charlie Bautista, the right fielder, he's at the plate. 1 run across here in the second.
If the runner goes, stay with the double shot. If he doesn't, go back to the pitcher.
That pitch is inside. Gross can't keep a handle on it, and he did not go. They asked down to first base umpire Matt Lawler. He said no, he did not.
Dana now more of an aggressive lead with 2 outs, trying to stretch it here on contact.
3-1 inside, ball 4. That was close. He's not getting that inside pitch set.
That Steve Normain, the coach of Holy Spirit, not happy early on. 50-50 pitch, not going his way. Although there is a really good 50-50 here out at Coaches versus Cancer for a great cause and benefit. Be sure to pick up your tickets right at the gate. And if you can't get here and you want to donate, hit them up on Venmo at CVC Mainland.
Canizero rips one down the left field line. Foul, but boy, he gave that one a jolt. First pitch swinging is the catcher, Jack Canizaro. Don Bosco catcher hitting in the 9-hole. Becker, the leadoff shortstop, waits on deck.
Gotten high tech with the Nike pinstripe pants. You see the vents in the back of the knees there?
I noticed that. And that ball's fouled back. 0-2. Schertel going right after the 9-hole hitter, Canizero.
Schertel's got to be careful here. You got Dana out at second base, and he's getting extremely aggressive. He's going all the way out in front of where Stephen Petrosh is. That ball even gets a little bit in the dirt. He's going to be at third before he can blink.
The 0-2. Schertel swinging a miss, got him over the hands, and he keeps 2 runners stranded here in the second. One across for Don Bosco. They lead 1-0 here on BFA Sports. Shane Solari, the left fielder, will lead things off for Holy Spirit. Sorry.
The Brigantine resident.
He is a Brigantiner. And a curveball just missed from Kevin Jaxel. Jaxel, as you mentioned, heading to Virginia. A lot of top quality pitching in the state of New Jersey. Holy Spirit has been stuck facing a couple of them. Here's Solari. Pitches well outside. Solari has been active in left field. A couple balls already hit his way. Let's see if he can get himself active at the plate. Solari, Petrosh, and Hegeman, the 3 batters scheduled to hit for the Spartans here in the second inning. They trail 1-0. Solari calls time. Granite. Shane Solari, one of the nicest kids I've ever coached. And I say that in all truth.
Hey, man.
He is one of the nicest kids.
High character guy. And I'll tell you, man, he is a grinder. Sporting his Baseball Performance Center, a.k.a. the BPC helmet. Something he's really proud of, and that's why this is going to be a tough lineup for the Ironmen to face is Solari and his teammates. They get after it.
Solari, one of those kids, I say, Shane, I need you to play third. All right, Shane, I need you to pitch. Okay, I need you to play left. All right. As he takes a called strike. Doesn't complain about what position he has to play. It's one of those things because you trust him in multiple positions more than you trust the other guy. Ball 4, Solari works a walk.
Well, leadoff runner for the Spartans here in the second and down 1 run. It'll be interesting to see what Normain is ready to cook up from a coaching standpoint as Stephen Petrosh digs in.
Spartan shortstop. He's been the starting shortstop for this team for the last couple of years. Obviously, they did not play last year. Solari at first. Petras facing Jaxel. There goes the runner. The bunt is up and nearly caught.
Man, Canizaro, nice hustle play, getting right out of his crouch. Almost pulled off a magic trick of a catch.
Yeah, the bunt did not get down. It kind of popped up down the left side. It was high enough in the air that Canizaro made an effort for it. So Solari was off on the pitch. Petras, to give you a little insight on the chess match here, Normain laying down a bunt. See if he does it again. They throw over to see if he squares. He did not. Solari gets back. So Solari at first, Petras at the plate. Hegeman waits on deck. 1-0 Don Bosco, top of the second. Jaxel sets, kicks, and delivers, and that pitch is over for a called strike.
Now it's tough down with 2 strikes. I got to wonder if Normain was thinking about how much the Spartans may have been able to break things up a little bit. They would have tried to play a little small ball against Petty, so interesting that you saw that first attempt here this early in this one.
Jaxel over to first. Well, and you got a Division I pitcher throwing 90. You got to scratch a run out if you can. You got the middle of your line up here trying to get something moving. Set up on the outside part of the dish, and he hits him right on the black, and Petras goes down looking.
Backwards K goes in the book.
Brings up Dave Hegeman, the Spartan first baseman. Of course, he pitched opening day for Holy Spirit. Heading to my alma mater. I know that place well. I can give him a couple tips. Places he shouldn't go to if he wants to make it.
Mountaineers. Guy right here next to me used to call balls and strikes on the air down there in West Virginia, or out there in West Virginia, I should say. I'm just proud that you're actually wearing the BFA quarter zip today instead of the West Virginia one, because I'm sure that was probably your first choice.
That was in my hand, and then I remembered what you told me last night. Pitch is over for a called strike.
I want to give a shout out as our broadcast team stretched to the max today. Al Fisher right now is calling a game remotely for the ACCC Buccaneers in his pickup truck, about 50 yards from us.
Over to first.
I sent him a text message about an hour ago. I said, I'm on my way back with your broadcast studio for the 12 o'clock game. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm driving your truck.
Well, and so he did the first game with me, and he was looking at his phone bewildered. But modern technology, we got multiple. Now, is there a Rowan College Cumberland game today?
Just ACCC. So the Buccaneers are hosting Delaware County over there at Sandcastle Stadium, just about a 15-minute ride from
no
there.
Cumberland game.
No Cumberland today.
Lucked out there, right? On a Saturday?
Yeah, well,
wow.
They're away. They're away.
Solari dives back to first. We got 4 games today, 4 tomorrow, 2 last night over at ACCC. So and that pitch is over on the inside part of the plate. Good.
Jaxel really finding his groove, painting corners like he works at Sherman-Williams.
I was in that store for the first time in my life the other day.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, man,
I know, they got paint. I'm aware.
Oh, there you go.
Back to Jaxel, over to short, back to first. 1-6-3, double disco. And the Ironmen get out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. We head to the third. 1-0, Don Bosco. All right, back here to start the third inning. 1-0 Don Bosco leads Holy Spirit. Jaden Schertel out for his third inning work. Mike Gill, Doug Statsik. Dave O'Sullivan from Glory Days will join us here in the middle innings as we take you through this showcase game. And so far, man, Jaxel looking solid on the mound. He's got this, obviously a good defense behind him, but this Holy Spirit offense has been really, unfortunately, they have run into some tough pitching so far in the early goings. Both you guys were at that game against Chase Petty. You saw Holy Spirit. I mean, so, hey, one day you're facing Chase Petty, next day you're facing a guy going to Virginia. Thanks for playing.
It's kind of like one of those draws in the NCAA tournament where you're up against the 5 and the 1 in the same bracket,
right? Hey, guess what? Welcome to high school baseball in the 2020s. I mean, every day you're facing a guy who can throw. Jaden Schertel, first pitch to Egri, stays down. Egri over to first, and Hageman squeezes, and around the horn he goes. 1 down.
So I hope you brought the high-speed shutter today, Sully, because you're seeing some velo, that's for sure. My word.
Well, I mean, hey, like the guys from BPC say, velo is king these days. I mean, college coaches aren't looking at guys that throw 82. It's just this is the fact of the matter. So a lot of these high school pitchers, if you want to get noticed, you got to throw hard.
Charlie Granitel steps in, the number 2 hole hitter. Flew out to left his first time up. Big Tommy Finnegan.
Big Tom.
Man, talk about a guy who can throw hard. Heading to Vandy.
I think he got taller. I think he's about 7 feet now.
Stretching it out.
A lot of pitching that's hanging around this area.
It's great to see, Mike, too. These guys from other teams locally coming out and checking out some of these other teams from a little bit further away. They get to see some different teams that normally they wouldn't get a chance to get a look at.
Big cut there by Granitel.
Yeah, we had some of the Mainland Mustangs, the host team, hanging out for a while. Then I think I saw.
Well, they're kind of roped in to do the field, so they're. I don't think it was optional for those guys.
And then I saw Ryan Weingartner from St. Augustine Prep.
Okay.
He was coming by to say hello as well.
Tell you what, man, that's one kid to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I love what he's doing over there. Kyle Neri, they got some real good players. LeVari's younger brother, Marco.
Yeah, and they're a surprisingly young team. Really, it's like they kind of have 4 or 5 seniors every year. That's not the case this year.
Yesterday, C.J. Fury on the mound, a lefty sophomore, picks up a win. He's a guy that Sully and I coached a couple of years ago, and he showed me last night that he pitched and got a win. I'm thinking, man, he was just 13 years old, and here he is pitching at St. Augustine.
Yeah, he's a lefty, got good stuff. Velo, 85, 86, he's sitting now. He's come a long way.
Well, even on our 13-year-old team, he was one of the harder throwers and could really command a game at that level.
Yeah, I remember him throwing a complete game the one day.
Which is kind of unheard of at that level.
Right.
I mean, some of those guys throw so many pitches, they don't get a chance to throw a complete game.
Well, that's the thing is the pitch counts. You can't throw strikes, and these guys who throw so hard sometimes at 13, they can't get to the pitch counts because they go over the pitch count.
Yep.
And he draws a walk, does Granell, so he's a 1-out base runner, and that brings up the 3-hole hitter.
Starting to see a little bit of frustration from Schertel here on the strike zone. He's got to just kind of get over that and figure out where the umpire likes it.
J.P. Kuzik.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Better you than me.
Schertel over to third, finds a hole, base hit. Runner advances to second base, and it's first and second, 1 out. And here comes Jaxel, the pitcher for Don Bosco.
Mike, I know we talked about uniform swag.
Yep.
I'm sure you like these Don Bosco Ironmen unis.
No, I'm not a
Really?
pinstripe guy.
Even with the maroon and black?
I like the color combo. I'm not a pinstriper.
They got the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Right,
I get it.
Going right there.
I don't like the pinstripe. I don't care who they're emulating.
Sully, we
I said to Al last game, he said, "Oh, they look like the Yankees." I said, "Which is why I don't like them." I said when I was at Mainland, we wore white unis with green pinstripes, and I hated them. I said, and from that point on, I just never liked the pinstripe look. By the way, I don't like Holy Spirit's jerseys either.
Wow.
Ironically, Mike, in the 40 years I played baseball, never had a uniform with pinstripes.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Wow.
I loved the Bridgeton jersey in the last game. That's my style right there.
Yeah, I was rocking the pinstripes back in Babe Ruth, Galloway Township.
Yeah, they
red
had
and
some
white.
baddies.
Yeah,
They had some Uggs.
yeah.
One of my Little League teams, actually, we were the A's, and we had uniforms that said Oakland on them.
Nice.
So that was pretty progressive for the mid-'80s.
That's strong. Do that now, you probably get sued.
Right, you would.
Yeah, trademarks.
I had a hot orange and green Margate Fireman jersey. Schertel kicks, delivers. That ball is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike.
Looking for a ground ball here to the left side, try to turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, we're here in the third, and again, another situation that Don Bosco has multiple runners on base. Gonna be tougher and tougher to keep this door closed.
First and second, one down, up and in on Jaxel. He backs
The
him
problem,
off the plate.
the problem here is Schertel's not really a ground ball pitcher. He kind of lives up in the zone for the most part, so it might be tough to get a double play ball here.
2-2. Runners at first and second. One out here in the third. Jaxel. The kick from Schertel. Swing and rips one into center field. Back on it, and Cohen's not going to get there. It's out of here.
Wow. He absolutely annihilated that one. Cut right through the wind into the jet stream and gone.
Think about that. You just said it. Through this wind, and you saw Cohen kind of turn towards it and then just let up because that ball slices through this wind and gives Don Bosco a 4-0 lead.
You got to be a man to hit one out today with that wind blowing across the field.
Oh, boy.
That was a heck of a shot there.
Got to be a bunch of guys happy in the dugout.
Took a 2-2 pitch and just laced it into center field through this wind. And Steve Normain and the Spartans talk things over here. Jaden Schertel.
Miss, I need you to run the scoreboard. He's got too many things going on over there.
So Kevin Murray now will step to the plate after the 3-run bomb by Kevin Jaxel.
Choo. He jacked it.
He's looking for that Mike Trout signed baseball.
Yeah, hey, you know, talk about an incentive.
He just got a nice high five from Chase Petty. Those two guys, you know, you see the respect throughout the state, by the way. That's the one thing that's so different in today's baseball. These guys know each other up and down the state. They're playing in summer leagues and doing showcases all together. So a guy from Don Bosco knows a guy from down here. And that ball's ripped down the third baseline, just foul as Murray turned on one.
I wouldn't even think of befriending a guy from my rival high school back in the late 80s. A little different time. I mean, these guys spend all summer together in different types of travel teams.
Yeah, it's like a fraternity from the summer circuit. You know, you so many guys from all over. Man, that was an absolute shot.
Sure was. I mean, to get it through this wind, we're talking, you could probably hear the wind. That ball's hit through the hole on the left side. Another base hit for Murray. So they clear the bases and they start things back up. Still just one away here in the third, and Alan Hernandez comes to the plate for the Ironmen.
You know, Sully, when we looked at some of these schedules going into the season, we all said that Steve Normain was very aggressive early on. He said he wanted to face the best teams, and Holy Spirit's getting a taste of it right now this week.
Well, typically in their playoff brackets, you don't face real tough competition in the first couple rounds, but once you get to the semis and finals of those sectionals, you're going to face some really good teams. So you got to kind of be ready. And he's a guy that, you know, he went to Rutgers. He's used to big time competition, so he's not going to shy away from anybody.
No, not at all. And the catcher, and Gross, wants to make sure that he and Schertel are remapping their plan here with one out.
Hernandez walked in the second. Dana waits on deck. Murray's at first. One down here in the third. Schertel's big swing and fouled back.
Plus, Doug, I think when you have the talent that some of these teams have, you're kind of doing a disservice to your guys if you're not playing good competition. I mean, a lot of these guys are going on to play college ball. They want to face the best teams they can during the course of the high school season.
Yeah, and a big reason, too. When you have a top-flight competition, top-flight schedule, yourself other guys in the media. I mean, like we mentioned T.J. Hunt, J.T. Kroger's here, C. McGarry, Minnick. I mean,
Yep.
they don't show up to your average games.
Right.
Just saying. So that's the kind of thing, too, from a lot of the, both Holy Spirit and Don Bosco, obviously non-public schools. As much as everyone wants to go there academically, it always helps if you're putting on a big-time presence from the athletic standpoint.
Hernandez fouls one back, keeps the count at 2-2. Again, obviously, this Holy Spirit team facing the top of the top so far. They've, as we mentioned, have got an early. They haven't got a chance to feel their roster out and see who's what. They've got thrown right into the fire. 4-0 to score. 3-run homer by Kevin Jaxel is the difference so far in this one, as Hernandez fouls a pitch back off.
And they might end up seeing Chase Petty again in a week or two when the schedule comes back around for the Cape Atlantic League.
Yeah, and that's a game at Birch Grove.
Birch Grove under the lights.
Yep.
So it'll be a BFA primetime special.
Nice.
Look where Hernandez, by the way, guys. He is over the chalk, too. These guys are right up on the plate. Schertel inside, down the line, gets past the third baseman Spina, and another base hit, rounding second, over to third. Here's the throw, in time. So Solari picks up an outfield assist.
Awesome baseball all the way around. I don't know if you want to say he got a little greedy, but ball was out in front of him, Sully, and he ran at the corner anyway.
I think with a 4-0 lead, you can kind of take a shot there and see if you can get second and third.
Solari comes up on it quickly, fires it to Spina, who puts down the tag. They get the out at third. Over to second goes Hernandez. So he's at second with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Caden Dana. Well, big out there, though. Now, you have second and third with 1 out. Now you erase an out and have 2 down with a runner on second.
Yeah, that one's tough for me as a third base coach, knowing that ball's out in left field right in front of the runner, and he's still going to try to stretch it to third. No, I love I love being aggressive, but there's just a part
I don't
of me
have a problem with it just because of the score. I mean, you're up 4-0, so go ahead and be aggressive. See if you can get that second and third, and you kind of blow this game open.
Ball downstairs, and he obviously knows his lineup a lot better. You got the bottom of the order here. You're saying, hey, let's try to get that to third since we're at the bottom half of the order. I mean, but the bottom half of their order is better than most of the top half of orders.
That's what I was going to say. They're so deep.
Yeah, I don't think the bottom half of the order for the number 3 team in the state is any slouch.
Nope. Nice deuce by Schertel, and he offered at it. Now you got him guessing, fellas. This is where I love the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You just threw him that deuce. Maybe something up at the eyes, get the eye level raised a little bit here.
I'd go out a little further with that slider. You got a pitch to play with.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I mean, if he offered it that, he'll offer again.
They're trying to
Schertel, and he throws that one down the middle. I don't know if that was the spot he wanted.
Nah, it looked like Gross was calling for it low. That one little up in the zone. That could be frightening.
There's, he fouls that pitch off. It stays at 1-2, and now Schertel, he's got all the tricks in the trade. He's still ahead in the count. You can kind of do what you want here. Let's see what he comes with. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Schertel's pitch, and that one is fouled off. He went with another fastball. I don't know if he got that one elevated to where he wanted to. That's a spot where if you're pitching, you want to get that a little bit up over his hands and see if he chases, and if he doesn't, then you can follow up with the deuce. You got the eye level changing a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to come back with that slider. It's been his best pitch.
Now's a good chance for time for it. The 1-2. There it was. It kind of hung up in the air. It's hit to right, under it in right field, as the 3rd out of the inning is recorded. Gavin McNatt makes the catch in right for the Spartans, but not before the damage is done. 3 runs on the board. The big hit by Jaxel. It's 4-0 Don Bosco here on BFA Sports. 5.
And we are back here at beautiful Mainland Regional High School for Coaches versus Cancer. Doug Stasik joined in the booth alongside 97.3 ESPN's Mike Gill and Glory Days Magazine's Dave O'Sullivan.
Tell you what, guys, this field looks a tremendous shape. I mean, they've done a great job here.
I was telling Al, I played here, and I said, it didn't look like this. Spina comes up. First pitch is swinging. Ryan Spina, just saw his brother Pat Spina.
Well, there's basically been no baseball on this field for a year, so they've kind of, the grass has been allowed to grow a little bit.
Good point.
Yeah, they filled in those base paths with grass. That was not like that in 1995.
That's something that's been prevailing. That was like a Midwest thing. So I know Keith Gorman, when he was the coach of Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland, he was one of the first ones in the South Jersey area to actually fill
Margate has
it.
Margate, Yogi Hiltner has it on the Margate field, and Margate had that base pass. Like that was the only place that you saw it around here for a while. Now you're starting to see it a little bit more. That ball's over for a called strike. Ryan Spina, I spent a summer with him in Arkansas.
He's right up there on the plate too. These guys are basically sitting on the catcher's knees.
Just think of this Holy Spirit South Jersey group of kids in Mountain Home, Arkansas.
Wow, yeah, that's
it was nice.
Yeah.
Now, I said last night we saw Cole Campbell, the catcher, and I think Al Sully was talking about he was a quarterback and a catcher. I said, you know what he's really good at, though? Catching fish. My man can catch some fish, Cole Campbell.
That's the place to go, I'm sure, to catch fish.
He went
Mountain Home, Arkansas.
On our off days, he was fishing.
Big mouth bass down there, I'm sure.
That ball 4, so Ryan Spina draws a walk. Actually, they have fishing tournaments because I said, what would a hotel be in Mountain Home, Arkansas? Who would be coming here? And they said there's fishing tournaments, and it's one of the top fishing spots in the country. Yeah, Ryan Spina, brother Pat, I just saw. I said, you still playing? He said, nope, I retired.
He's too young to retire.
I was trying to recruit him for you.
Yeah. Good arm back in Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Spina lays down. It popped up the bunt. And it goes right up to the third baseman, Dana, so couldn't get that bunt down. And that's the second time they've tried to bunt. Second time they haven't been successful at it either.
Yeah, no, those are tough. Got to get the first one down.
Now you're down 4 runs. You sacrifice bunting there?
I just think it's a dynamic. You're trying to get the door open. Some sort of momentum.
I go with more of the Oakland A's philosophy. Maybe one sacrifice bunt a year.
I used to coach with a guy, and his philosophy was, if you can get 1 run an inning, however many runs you're down, how many innings there are, if you can get 1, then you do it. If not, you take it out.
My philosophy in high school is you only have 21 outs. I'm not going to give up any of them unless I have to, especially not in the 3rd or 4th inning.
So, Mike, is Hollywood Tans one of our sponsors by chance for the Coach vs. Cancer? Because, you have this great kind of like orange glow about you right now. Yeah. I don't know if you're tanning or from the dirt.
Could it be from the clay that's hitting me in my face?
Like a sandstorm?
I don't even know if I'm going to need lunch. I'm pretty well full from eating all this dirt. Just blowing in our face.
Yeah, I got a mouthful, no doubt. Ball upstairs. Gross, the catcher, left-handed swinger, steps to the plate for Holy Spirit. 1 on, 1 out here in the 3rd. 4-0 Don Bosco.
Side-by-side view.
Went upstairs, held his swing.
We got some dugout cams, too, I saw.
We do have some dugout cams in the house this fine afternoon. Got to give some props.
This ain't the JV.
No. There you go. There's a look for you there, Sully.
I like it.
Going multiple angles, as we like to call it, the college view. So for those college coaches that are watching, looking for players, a lot of times, if you're either not at the event or even if you are, our goal was to be able to show you things on one screen they would require you to be in 2 places at once.
talking to a couple of Atlantic City players during the first game, and they said they were going on YouTube late last night and checking out the Mainland and Ocean City games. They said it was awesome. It was like watching a professional game.
Cool. Well, you guys did one heck of a job on the call last night, Mainland Cherokee. What a thriller that was.
Jaxel comes back. It was 3-0. It's now 3-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And Jaxel comes back and gets Gross. A lot of excitement in that Don Bosco dugout on the strikeouts.
Yeah, very disciplined cheering going on, too.
Here's
almost
now.
kind of like softball cheers.
Yeah.
Rehearsed.
Egri grounded to short on the first pitch he saw as they get back to the top of the lineup. Jackson spins and turns to first base. Egri, Shurtell on deck with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Egri from Ventnor. And that ball's beat it into the ground. Foul. Egri, a heck of a defensive back, by the way, for the Spartans football team.
Really came on strong late in his career. Senior this year and last 2 years. Really kind of flew under the radar as one of the best defensive backs in South Jersey.
He's dedicated himself to the gym, too, man. His workouts, I mean, he's
a little maniac, isn't he?
He's looking cut up.
Yeah, we hit Wednesday nights with my team, and as soon as we're done, he was in there hitting after us at 8:30 at night on a weeknight. Jaxel on the exchange couldn't get it out, and a stolen base as Egri looked like he was going to try to bunt for a hit there. Spina moves to second. Egri now with a 1-1 count.
He's actually going to do a post-grad year next year, I believe. Andover, is that the school?
Yeah.
Maryland?
Yep.
So
Andover, Maryland.
a high-level post-grad school.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these
and then
guys
I guess he'll reclassify as a 2022.
Right, I mean, a lot of these guys missed last year, so they didn't get looked at last year.
Well, and it creates a logjam from the recruitment process. You know, you got a lot of guys that are sitting on 1 and 2 extra years in college, so you try to pause yours. Otherwise, you're going in as a –
Egri hits to second, over to first.
Look at the speed.
And Egri can move, but not in time as the out at first is recorded. 1 left on as we head to the top of the fourth. 4-0, Don Bosco here on BFA Sports. Top of the fourth here on BFA Sports, Coaches versus Cancer Classic. Mike Gill, Doug Stasic. There's Dave O'Sullivan from Glory Days Magazine. You can't see him, but he's standing behind me. And we got a plate full of pollen. How's it taste?
It's delicious, man. I mean, there's anything I like to do. You know?
Need a little season salt for that?
Yeah, tis the season. I mean, I'll just chew on Claritin like they're Tic Tacs.
Oh, man. Here's Charlie Bautista leading things off. Takes a big daddy hack, swings through.
It's funny. The one thing keeps blowing away, very oddly, my pencil for the scorebook.
Down and in. Jaden Shurtell into his 4th inning of work now for the Holy Spirit Spartans. They trail 4-0. A 3-run homer from Kevin Jaxel did big damage in the 3rd. fouled off right into the backstop here. 1-2.
Not sure what his pitch count is, but it's got to be getting up there.
Bautista, Cannizzaro, and Becker, the 3 scheduled to hit for the Ironmen. Schertel steps off. By the way, I did get a glimpse of those Absagami hats. I like those things. And a strikeout looking, got him. Nice pitch by Schertel.
Where's the Chico?
I just saw him. He was right behind me. That's where I saw the hat.
You should have gave us one.
Thank you.
There he is.
Yep, there it is. He's got the Vegas gold.
Yeah. Well, what's he doing?
At the white front.
Yeah, I like it.
Holding out on us.
It's a nice look. He learned from a good one. All right. I told him the most important thing is get a nice lid. First pitch over for a strike to Cannizzaro. He struck out his first time up back in the second. Becker waits on deck. 4-0 Ironmen. Schertel over to short. Petraj, Fields, throws to first. And a nice 6-3 put out.
A little bit more of a rhythm here this inning for Schertel.
2 away for the top of the order now. Becker lead back to the top. Eric Becker 0 for 2. Flew out and grounded out. Get Petraj smoothly with the exchange from first to short to first on that. I mean, it's always nice to have that slick fielding shortstop in your back pocket if you're a pitcher.
Yeah, got to be strong up the middle. At some point, the Philadelphia Phillies will figure out that formula. I mean, we're good Real Muto. Then as soon as Didi and Segura start playing well, Segura gets hurt, and we can't buy a center fielder. Maybe you should try out, Mike.
Not for me.
No?
Any chance Mike getting Charlie Blackmon?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
First pitch over for a called strike.
Rockies are always set on selling mode, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are. It's tough to get people to want to go play there when it snows in April. Come on down. 2 feet of snow, we can blow up the field.
And that one's on the outside part of the plate. So he goes inside, he goes outside, and it's 0-2. Schertel looking to get in a rhythm. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 4th. And that pitch is hit back up through the middle, and it's a base hit for Eric Becker.
Real nice piece of hitting there. Wade let that ball go deep on him.
Yeah, barrel up. That's one thing. I mean, Bosco has 4 runs on the board, but they've shown a lot more barrels than what the scoreboard has reflected. They've squared up a few.
Here's Charlie Grantel. He is the Ironman center fielder. Walked and scored in the 3rd. He flew out to left in the 1st. That one's upstairs, ball 1. Schertel was cruising along in this inning, then that's single, and now he's behind in the count. 0-1. Schertel kicks. That one's foul. Right back off the backstop. One ball, 1 strike, 2 down here in the 4th. 4-0 Don Bosco. Becker, the runner at first. Nice lead over at first base. Schertel stares him, and he goes over. Dave Hegeman, the Spartan first baseman today.
Yeah, he's a versatile kid. He was a shortstop and third baseman for a couple years at Cedar Creek.
One heck of an athlete.
Schertel over to Spina. Spina fires across the diamond. Hegeman squeezes, and that'll do it for the Ironmen here in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 4-0 Don Bosco.
I wanted the RK customers to get the best possible deal, so I hired Sean Brady.
The MMA fighter? That's the most I can give you for your trade. If I was crazy, I'm gonna give you more, of course.
New 2021 Select models with 0% financing for 63 months, and you get RK coverage. That's ding, tire, wheel, and windshield repair. No charge.
At RK,
the customer is always right.
RK Subaru of Mainland.
All right, and we are back here at the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. Right now you're watching Don Bosco Prep versus the Holy Spirit Spartans for BFA Sports. Doug Stasic joined alongside Mike Gill. And also in the booth with us is Glory Days Magazine's Dave O'Sullivan, better known as Sully.
Old Sully boy. Well, Sully and I spent a week together in Altoona, PA, coaching a bunch of these kids. Let me tell you how fun that was.
That was interesting.
Let me tell you how fun that was. Now, it's always a good time, and I say, and I'm sure Sully can echo, is we coach him at 13. I get him at 14 and 15 too, but 13 is when I have him at the all-star level, and then watching them progress. Like I said to Sully last night, we both had Sheeran, and, he was a light-hitting 13-year-old who was a great defensive player, had great instincts. For him to drive that, I said, man, that is just super cool to see how far he's come as a hitter. I mean, we knew as a defensive player he could play at this level. That ball is hit down the left field side. I saw his dad today. He said, man, thanks so much, for recognizing that he has come along. I said, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things, Mike, that you always say when we do have to cut a kid at that age is, hey, keep at it. Don't give up on baseball. In a couple years, you might be a star on your high school team. And we've seen that happen where a kid just wasn't ready at 13 to be at the all-star level. By 16, he's a stud on the varsity level.
Great pitch by
because
Jackson.
They grow, they put on 15, 20, 30 pounds of muscle. And they kind of come into their own as 16-year-olds, whereas maybe 13 they just weren't ready.
I had a kid, and I'll never forget his name because I remember this. At 13 years old, I had to cut him. He was probably 5'4". And as a senior at Mainland, he walked up to me and said, "Coach, thank you so much." And I had no idea who it was, and he was 6'2". His name was Max Bell. He was just a small 13-year-old, and he just shot up, grounded to short, over to first. And one away.
Well, even last night, Mike, kid Will Hoover, we just didn't have the room in the position he played at that year. He was one of the last guys cut. It was a difficult decision. We wanted to keep him, just didn't have enough room in the position he played. And you look at last night, he comes in, pitches 2 innings of shutout relief for one of the top teams in South Jersey, and really making a nice niche for himself.
And there's another example that Jackson's pitch is over for a called strike. Jackson Vanesco at the prep at 13, I wanted him to pitch more than we used him. He just couldn't throw strikes, and he didn't throw all that hard for a tall, lanky lefty. Mm-hmm. But he just can't. I said, man, you just need to keep working at it, man, and you have it in you. And here he is, opening day starter.
Division I player.
Yep. I mean, I love to see that kind of kid. And he was a kid who just, I think at 13 didn't have the confidence yet.
Yep.
I think he was just a little, shy and timid. That ball hit down the left field side, out of play. Good crowd on hand here, by the way. Both sidelines filled up.
Well, sometimes kids, Mike, too, at 13, maybe they're not used to their body. Maybe they're taller than they expected to be, that kind of thing. It takes a little while to get them used to their feet are growing fast, their body's growing fast. It can be a little bit of awkward time physically.
Here's Trevor Cohen. Trevor Cohen going to Rutgers.
I didn't have that problem of growing too fast at 13. I was about 4'9".
Over to short. It's a little off the bag. Cohen playing a little dance over there, but it got tugged over by the first baseman, Murray. And 2 ground balls to short and 2 away here in the 4th. Shane Solari heading to the plate.
Just want to remind everybody, hopefully you're partaking in the festivities if you're here, and a lot of people watching on their phone even as they're walking around. But you can get involved in the 50-50. There's some awesome giveaways, some auction items that are here. But you can also contribute. All proceeds from this weekend go to Coaches vs. Cancer and the American Cancer Society. You can donate via Venmo at CVC Mainland. That's Venmo at CVC Mainland to make your donations.
Shane Solari beats one through the hole, finds a little Little opening for Shane Solari, a little single. And Solari's on base for the second time today.
Future Summers Point captain there, Mike.
There you go.
He's a bit late pickup last week.
I was telling Doug
trying to
earlier,
finalize the roster here.
I told Doug earlier he's probably the nicest kid I've ever coached.
Well, if he keeps hitting like that, he'll be in our lineup every day.
And can play everywhere.
Yep.
Brings up the shortstop, Petrosh.
Getting some tough calls on number 6 here.
Shortstop Stephen Petrosh struck out looking his first time. I don't think he was thrilled about it. Jaxel throws over to first. Solari back safely. 4-0 to score. Don Bosco leads Holy Spirit here in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
Not a lot of high-stress innings here for Jaxel. He's cruising right along.
Heading to Virginia. Hitting about 90. And that deuce just missed. A little high. Late breaking curveball.
Oh, man. That was a good pitch. That was a jelly knee curve right there.
That's the pitch
that's the
puts
kind
Sully
you
in
try
the
to
broadcast booth.
You try to look cool taking it, but you know you got fooled.
There goes Solari. Pitches up, throw through, and he is safe into second base. So Solari just gets a hand in there. The Ironmen didn't agree. They were running off the field. But now they got a runner in scoring position with 2 down here in the fourth, and Petrosh in a big spot now. 2 balls and a strike. Hageman waits on deck, the Spartan first baseman. Here's Stephen Petrosh, the shortstop. He struck out his first time. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. 2 down here in the fourth. Solari takes a lead off second. Jaxel pitches. Petrosh to short. 1 hopper over to first, and that's the inning. The Ironmen get out. 3 balls to short in the inning. All 3 retired. We head to the top of the 5th. Don Bosco 4. Holy Spirit nothing. BFA Sports. Top of the 5th here in Linwood at Mainland Regional High School. The Coaches vs. Cancer 9th annual here on the campus of Mainland. It started out in Millville. It shifted over to here. And here we are bringing it to you live, how it has evolved. Live video for every single game, courtesy of BFA Sports. Mike Gill, Doug Stasic, Dave O'Sullivan here in the 5th. 4-0. It was a 3-run homer by Kevin Jaxel, who's up second in this inning. That ball's ripped to left field. Solari back, and the wind's going to hold it up, and Solari camps under it. Boy, that one looked like it got hung up a little bit in the wind.
Yeah, just not much you're going to do, man.
That thing jumped off the bat and then just kind of died.
Yeah, because initially the wind was blowing out to left. Now the wind is like a crosswind that it's blowing center field, or almost like the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole. It's weird.
Yeah, it changed a little bit. And here's Jaxel. Takes his daddy hack after a home run in the third, and he just took a big old hack there.
I just saw TJ Hunt flinch. I thought this guy was a professional. Flinching.
Man, I'll tell you, this wind is definitely swirling. And it did change. It was blowing right at us, and now it's kind of side to side, swirling around. That ball might have been out of here on a regular day. That ball that was just hit by Cusick.
Oh, there's no question.
Boy, Jaxel just takes another rip at one and fouls one right back.
A lot of guys are battling with their electronic devices and camera equipment today.
Jaxel swinging a miss, and Schertel blows one by him.
Great pitch.
I mean, you can't appreciate, maybe we sound like we're whining people watching at home, but you can't appreciate the amount of clay dust that is blowing us. We had gray and black quarter zips, and they look a bit tan.
Don't sell the pollen short.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the clay and the pollen just mixing together here. It's just like a stew. Schertel deals to Murray. Murray singled and flew out. Jaden Schertel kicks, winds, deals down, and just missed. A little low, I guess. Schertel gets a sign from Gross. And Murray calls time, backs himself out. Another strike over, 1-2. Nice pitch by Schertel. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Here in the 5th. That ball is over for a called third strike on the inside part of the plate. And Schertel dealing, and he gets out of a quick 5th inning as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Don Bosco 4, Holy Spirit nothing.
I wanted the arcade customers to get the best possible deal, so I hired Sean Brady.
The MMA fighter? That's the most I can give you for your trade. If I was crazy, I'm gonna give you more, of course.
New 2021 Select models with 0% financing for 63 months, and you get RK coverage. That's ding, tire, wheel, and windshield repair. No charge.
At RK,
The customer is always
right.
RK Subaru of Mainland.
All right, bottom 5 here, 4-0 Don Bosco Prep as Hegeman, Spina, and Spina do up. Now, the first game we had
Sounds
Avril,
like a law firm.
Right, we had Avril in the Atlantic City lineup, and now Spina. Now, these are brothers. I think that they are not related Spinas.
Hageman, Spina, and Spina. Call them for all your
injuries. Hageman takes a big
workman's
cut.
comp and injury.
There you go. 0-1. David Hageman heading to my alma mater, West Virginia.
Good old Morgantown. You had some good times there, right?
I said I'll tell him everywhere not to go if he wants to make it there. If you want to hang in school, don't go where I went. They'll be hanging out on High Street.
Now, I've never been to that town. Is that sort of the college is the whole town?
Yeah. 0-2. Off the plate for Hageman. That's a pitch.
Kind of the only show in town, right? West Virginia?
Yeah. Well, only show in the state. Not much else going. The 1-2. Down in the dirt. Dave Hageman, 6'3".
There's a lot of I always try to tread lightly. But I've been asked a lot of times about my opinion on a strike zone today. I'm not going to mention what game. I'm not going to mention.
It's conservative. We'll call it that.
Hageman strikes out swinging as Jaxel picks up another K.
Call it a conservative strike zone, Doug.
Okay.
That's
fair.
The third strikeout of the afternoon for Kevin Jaxel. And that brings up Ryan Spina. Were the umpires wearing dark or pink?
Pink.
Yeah.
No, which umpires are you referring to?
They didn't mention what jerseys they were wearing. I should have asked that question.
Just making sure, I know you could have been talking about the first game.
Well, listen.
The big deuce gets over.
We have another broadcast going on right now over at Sandcastle Stadium, so who knows.
0-2. See if he goes right back with that deuce. Nope, fastball, and he got him looking as Spina, 3 pitches.
I mean, you're looking at a pitcher that's pitching with a lot of confidence.
So, Mike, I don't know that Moe's Southwest Grill is a sponsor, but apparently Don Bosco Prep, big fan of theirs because they were just cheering, welcome to Moe's.
That one I caught. I haven't heard many of the other ones, but that one I got. Here's Vince Spina, and he swings through a pitch. I mean, right now, Jaxel's just...
He's in a groove.
In a groove, confident, and he's saying, here it is, do what you want with it because I'm better than you. And that's the kind of attitude you have to have, guys. When you're on that mound is, I'm better than you. That's where a lot of pitchers, you don't have that confidence.
You're on an island out there. And some of the best insurance providers on the island are over at McMahon Insurance right there in Ocean City. So Asbury Avenue, multiple locations in Cape County, and proud sponsor of the Coaches versus Cancer Classic.
Spina swings through it, and
that
it's
was
1-2.
That was slick right there. That's next level segue.
The 1-2 downstairs.
That was a bat flip on that one, Doug.
I like that. Bad flip. Start doing that for ads and reads.
Spina, the DH. 1 ball, 2 strike. Jaxel, the pitch. Belts it into the ground, foul. The Jaxel right now is basically, he's having a blast out there.
He can throw whatever pitch he wants, and he's got the confidence that's going over the plate.
Absolutely. I mean, this is fun to watch. He is just absolutely cruising. But it can go, hey, Atlantic City had a no-hitter with 10 strikeouts going and a 4-0 lead right about this time, and they gave up 6 in the 6th.
Yep.
They took the pitcher out, and we got into that bullpen. So Holy Spirit just got to kind of hang on here.
That's the thing with these pitch counts in high school. Sometimes you're trying to pitch a guy twice in 1 week, and he's only got 60, 70 pitches he can go in his second appearance, and you got to kind of mix and match the bullpen.
Yeah, it's always one of the keys to the game. We talked about it the other day when it was Holy Spirit Mainland, the whole thing with Chase being out on the mound. Got to get into the bullpen, and with the way Jaxel's been handling this lineup, there's a nice shot.
Spina rips one to center, but the center fielder, Grantel, up for the challenge and makes a nice catch to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down here in the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th. Don Bosco 4, Holy Spirit nothing. Top of the 6 here in Linwood, home of the Mainland Mustangs. They are hosting Holy Spirit. Don Bosco Prep at the 9th Annual Coaches versus Cancer Classic. And I'm sure if you can't make it out to one of the games, there's 2 more today, 4 tomorrow. If you can't, you can watch it on your phone, tablet, or smart TV through BFA Sports on YouTube.
A couple great matchups coming up, Mike, after this one. Delsea and Lenape, and then Millville, Cherry Hill East. So some group 3, Group 4, some really standout programs in South Jersey. This one featuring the number 2 and number 3 teams in the state, according to Kevin Minnick and NJ.com.
Swing and a miss as Alan Hernandez, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. And tomorrow I'm looking forward to that Kingsway-Hamilton game. I know that Kingsway team, I was talking to
They're deep.
Yep, I was talking to the Triton coach yesterday or Friday, and he was like, man, that team is something else.
Yeah, that Kingsway team, tough but believable. They're under the radar because, a lot of these teams we're seeing, we don't really know what they have because there was no season last year. But
inside part of the plate over for a college strike. That's a good point. Is you're just kind of going off of what you think.
Yeah.
And there's guys that graduated out that didn't play last year that would have made that team better, but they're not here anymore.
And a lot of these teams, some of these guys.
Hernandez is short. Petros can't get ahead, and he had it, and he just couldn't figure out where it was.
Some of these teams might have 6, 7 guys with virtually no varsity experience.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, is he went to the backhand, he smothered it. Is that an infield hit?
I'm thinking the same thing. I gave him a hit.
Okay.
And I'm a pitcher. That's a ball in the hole. It's kind of tough. He went down to his knee. I didn't see where the runner was. That was a bad job I made. We got a pinch runner, by the way, coming in to run for Don Bosco.
Number 4.
Dan Eitner. So Eitner running there for Hernandez.
Don Bosco's next level with the laminated roster cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
That was very nice. I said, what's your lineup? And the guy hands me this. I said, well, that's not exactly your lineup, but this will do.
We couldn't get a roster. It was very top secret stuff.
Right?
Yeah, they were that in lineup. Thankfully, I got a guy. JT Kroger was kind enough to hook us up with the lineup.
Ball hit right back to Shurtell. 1 and over to first for a double disco. Nice play by Shurtell, getting fielded into position and having the wherewithal to get that ball and then get it back over to first. So a little 1-3 double play.
That was like a little 10-yard out pattern there for him.
Yeah, no
for
problem.
Former quarterback at St. Joe.
So the 1-3 double play puts 2 down quickly, and now Charles Bautista. Now, Shurtell played at St. Joe this season at quarterback.
This fall,
correct?
yeah. He transferred after the football season to Holy Spirit.
That was not allowed in our day.
Well, this year they've eliminated the 30-day SID rules just because all the kids lost their 2020 seasons.
Yep.
Which is probably a good rule. I mean, that you can't really, it's hard to penalize a kid for transferring this year because of the COVID.
Yeah.
That ball's ripped to left, Solari. Right there, though, right at him. So Shane Solari's been busy in left field, but he's made every put out, and that ends the inning. 1 hit, no left on. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 4-0, Don Bosco Prep. Bottom half of the sixth. And Gross will lead things off for the Spartans. Gross, Eggery, and Schertel do up this inning for Holy Spirit. They trail 4-0 in the sixth. Mike Gill, Doug Stasic, and Dave O'Sullivan. Although Doug, I think, is taking this inning off.
He's on the ones and twos, as they say.
That's why we got a full roster, including the A-teamer, Missy Stasic, back there today.
The glue that holds it all together.
That's right. In fact, she's doing color for the ACC game from here. 1-1. Kevin Jaxel in control. That ball's down. This is the exact same situation as game one, though, so
yep.
4-0. Pitcher's cruising. Now, this
yep.
pitcher stayed in the game. Atlantic City went to their bullpen, gave up 6 runs. Don Bosco sticking with their pitcher, and that pitch is fouled.
Well, Atlantic City had to. He had reached his pitch limit for the week. In high school, you have 150 pitches per week.
Right, yeah, he was on a 70-pitch count.
Yep.
So they didn't remove him by choice.
Nah.
Oh, that one hits his hand.
Little eerily reminiscent of last night's Mainland game.
And the same umpire is working at first base tonight, though.
Okay. He didn't exactly lean into that one, though. He just kind of stood there and it hit him.
You can tell that I got this book at Walmart. I'm not a big fan of the options of circling. I need a better book. Here's Eggery trying to get something going here. They turn the lineup back to the top. So Gross at first, Eggery at the plate. Eggery 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. Downstairs, low ball 1. C.J. Eggery, Jaden Schertel on deck, and then Trevor Cohen, the heart of this Spartan lineup. They trail 4-0. The 1-0. Ball is hit softly in the left field, finds a little spot, and Gross moves over to second, and Eggery is on with a single. So it's the first hit of the game, second hit of the game for Holy Spirit. So Eggery and Gross, 2 runners on, with nobody out here in the sixth.
A little surprised he swung at that pitch. It was down below his knees.
He just kind of golfed it.
Went with the old 9-iron there.
That brings up the pitcher, Jaden Schertel, and they're going to have a little convo. I mean, he was cruising in the last inning. It felt like he was really into a spot there. A little mound visit.
Maybe perhaps a little bit of fatigue setting in.
Well,
not sure what his pitch count is, but he's got to be up there probably in the 70s or 80s at this point.
Let's see if there's any bullpen action over there. It doesn't look like it. I think they're just kind of letting him know, hey, top of the order, calm down.
Yep.
2 runners on. You got a 4-0 lead. Let's go after these
Settle
guys.
yourself. Get yourself a ground ball.
Now, when you go out for your mound visit, do you have something in mind? Do you have a speech? Do you have something?
You're coming out. if I'm coming out there, you're coming out.
Yeah, I've walked out a few times with nothing really to say. Just, I'm here because you're not pitching very well. I have nothing else to tell you. Gross, the catcher, at second. Eggery with great speed at first.
Well, Mike, when I'm coaching in the South Jersey South Shore Baseball League this summer, I really want to let these guys learn the game on their own and kind of let them see how they can work out of different situations. Let them think through a situation like this where you have first and second, a good hitter up. How am I going to get him out?
That pitch is fouled off as Schertel.
I think too often coaches with pitchers don't let them face adversity and try to grind their way through it. At some point as a pitcher, you got to just bear down and figure out a way to get through it.
left-handed swinging Schertel. Schertel called timeout, and he was granted. It's a big inning here for the Spartans. They're top of the order. They're down 4.
Yep. Got to push some across here, at least 1 or 2. It's going to be tough to pick up 4 in the 7th inning, so this is a huge inning for Spartans.
Jaxel spins towards second again. That pitch is swung on and missed. It's 1-2 as Schertel swings through a fastball.
Good high fastball. I'd come right back with that. Wind's blowing in, a gale. It's not like somebody's going to take you deep if you make a mistake on a high pitch.
Jaxel's pitch upstairs. He went back with it, but this time Schertel holds off. So this is where I throw that little deuce.
Yep.
Got the eye level changed.
Outside corner. See if you can backdoor it in there. If I'm Schertel, I'm looking outer half.
There it is. Just low. Boy, he set him up nice, got the eye level up, came back with that deuce, and he just missed. Really good pitching, though, by Jaxel. So now, Schertel, good job holding off on that.
That was a tough pitch to hold up on, especially with 2 strikes. A little bit of action in the pen, number 8.
Got Will Pitt and Eli Lazio having a catch. I'm not sure if they're warming up the pitch or they're just having a catch. 3-2. Fastball swung on and missed by Schertel, and Jaxel wins the battle.
Just some good old country hardball right there, Mike.
He's got the mullet to go with it.
The old Kentucky waterfall.
Here's Trevor Cohen, the center fielder. Cohen with a pair of groundouts today.
I had some good salad like that back in '91.
Sweet.
Rocking the mullet.
I can never get mine to go that way. Thankfully, those pictures don't exist. Cohen belts one foul. Now, he's a left-handed swinger and a left-handed thrower. His brother Gavin is a left-handed swinger but a right-handed thrower.
Right.
He's my shortstop currently, and I'll tell you, he's going to be probably equally as good, if not comparable to Trevor. Both of them tremendous athletes.
Yeah, Trevor, starting quarterback for the Holy Spirit football team for the past couple seasons, and just a great athlete. Real nice young man too.
Jaxel's pitch hit back through the middle.
Oh, Taylor made.
Steps on second for one, over to first. The 6-3 double play ends the inning as Cohen grounds out. They leave 2 on, no across, 4-0, Don Bosco. We head to the 7th. All right, C.J. Eggery in relief for Holy Spirit. He relieves Jaden Schertel. He will face the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Ironmen. Jake Canizaro leads things off. Four strikeouts for Schertel in 6 innings of work, 4 runs. A big home run by Jaxel, really the big difference in this one so far.
Well, that and everything he's doing on the mound for 6 innings.
You know, Schertel only gave up 3 hits, one of them a 3-run homer. Eggery first pitch over for a called strike.
Yeah, Schertel didn't pitch that bad. Just the homer came at a bad time.
And with 2 guys on. That ball's sky high to right. And Schertel squeezes it. 1 away. So the lead out by Eggery. Always a big one when you turn that lineup over, and that brings up Eric Becker. Becker, the shortstop, has been busy today in the field. He has 6 putouts. As Eggery hits Becker. He puts Becker on. Granitel coming to the plate. Charlie Granitel is walked, scored a run, and is 0 for 2 officially. So Eggery records the first out. He hits a batter, so 1 out here in the 7th. 4-0 Don Bosco. They got 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 2nd. Eggery with the curveball just inside. A lot of hard stuff from CJ.
Yep.
That had a lot of tight spin on it. Pitch from Eggery, over for a called strike.
Got a good arm. He's really developed well into a nice relief pitcher for them over the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's a guy who can give you 1-2 innings. He throws hard. Eggery, and he hits another batter. Back-to-back hit batsmans by C.J. Eggery, and that's going to bring up the number 3 hole hitter.
Really nowhere to go for the batter on that one. Got to kind of wear that.
J.P. Kuzik steps in now with 2 on and 1 out here in the 7th. Kuzik's fly to left, scored a run, and grounded out. That ball is down in the dirt. Gross over top of it. Good block. Seen some good catching today. Two on, 1 down.
Yeah, even with the short backstop, you got to smother that because you never know where it's going to bounce off the fence or the poles.
That ball's hit to right. Schertel can't get there. It falls in front. Looked like that one just off the mitt of Schertel as he was coming in.
Yeah, that's a tough play. Ball's kind of dying in the wind.
Yeah, that wind cutting. You're worried about the base runner. Very easy to get distracted there.
So now Eggery's got bases loaded, and he's got to deal with Jaxel. Jaxel is homered. A 3-run bomb back in the 3rd. It's really the big difference in this game. I mean, it was a 1-0 game. He hits that 3-run homer. Now it's 4-0. They haven't done anything after that homer.
Right.
Shurtell really settled in. In fact, after that inning, they only had one base runner, and these are the first 3 base runners since that home run. And a fastball right by him, so Egri pumped up the velocity on that one.
Jackson was hunting fastball on that first pitch.
The 0-1 from Egri, just missed. 1-1. The 1-1 from C.J. Egri. Bases loaded, 1 down. Jaxel at the plate, ball's fouled back, and a 1-2.
And again, want to thank everybody for supporting Coaches versus Cancer. A lot of people here supporting the cause. Yeah, absolutely. But if you can't make it, or even if you can, maybe you didn't have any cash on you, you can Venmo to contribute and donate at CVC Mainland. That's at CVC Mainland for donations.
Jaxel swing and a miss, and Egri picks up a huge strikeout with the bases loaded and 1 out. And boy, he just pumped a fastball right by him.
But when all else fails, reach back and throw.
Yep.
The old number 1.
Here it comes. Yeah, Egri can get it up there. That fastball's over for a called strike.
Sometimes you just got to be an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really a pitcher, but he's a guy who can get up there and throw hard for an inning or 2. You don't want him much more than that.
We're going to see St. Augustine tomorrow versus Gloucester Catholic, all weather hoping. But that's one of Bylone's famous lines. Tells all his players, be athletic.
Yep.
That's all he ever says.
Yeah, I was telling Sully the story last night. I had Brock Mercado pitching for me, and the coach of the other team said I couldn't do anything because the pitcher was so athletic. He fielded his position so well. You know, he was a team that liked to bunt a lot. He got off the mound and fielded, that he took that bunting aspect out of the game for them. It was something at 13, you bunt, you're trying for chaos.
Yeah.
Egri's pitch outside. Brock Mercado, talk about a nice kid. Shane Solari might be the nicest, tied for first, Brock Mercado.
Yeah.
Tied with Drew Storr.
Yeah, Drew's a great kid. He's a junior already, Mike, so these years start flying by.
Oh, man. And that ball's pelted to center field. Cohen playing deep, falls in front. 1 run comes around. Here comes another run. He's going to score. It's 6-0 Don Bosco on an RBI, 2 RBI. Base hit single by Kevin Murray.
Well, that's where it gets into. You basically get 3 runners on there after 2 hit by pitches and an error. It's the baseball gods catching up with you at some point.
Yeah, the tightrope of putting 2 guys on comes to get you. Yeah, you hit 2 guys, you come back with a big strikeout, and it caught up to him. And here comes Alan Hernandez with 2 on. More damage to be done, and that ball was fired off those cameras that are right behind home plate.
Man, he is swinging with intent to harm. That is thunderous swing.
Well, he didn't drive 2 hours to get cheated.
Oh, no. No one's talking about their walks on the ride home.
That pitch is over for a called strike. Big, nice fastball by C.J. Egri. He's got to be living in the low to mid 80s with that.
The 80s.
Life was good in the 80s.
Those were good.
Downstairs. Well, you know what's funny? You say that now. If you had a guy 10 years ago throwing low to mid 80s, he was throwing gasoline. Now he's like, hey, he's throwing low to mid 80s, and you know, it's not a bad thing. But you know, CJ's not really a pitcher. I mean, he's an athlete up there on the mound. But these guys nowadays, these specialists, they're throwing 90, 92. I mean, I don't think we had one kid throwing 90 miles an hour. In the
There's a couple
league,
when I was in high school.
League. We faced a kid, you might remember this kid, Santa Maria.
Yeah. Phil Santa Maria from Lakewood.
From Lakewood.
Yeah.
He got drafted by the Mets.
He threw hard.
He threw gas, and I faced that kid. I said, man.
Actually, Rod Velarde, who's coaching the ACCC, Toms River South, I faced him throughout my high school career. He was throwing 92, 93 with a pretty wicked breaking ball. It was no fun facing Rod Velarde and Toms River South. It was going to be an 0 for 3 and see you later.
But Santa Maria was the only guy I ever faced of that caliber.
Yeah,
you couldn't find another guy.
He was legendary in Lakewood.
My God. I will say I was the only guy I had to hit against him.
Well, there you go.
It went straight down the right field line, which means I was about 10 minutes late on it.
There was a couple guys back in those days. A kid named J.M. Gold from Toms River North threw about 97, 98. First-round draft pick by the Brewers.
Yeah, those were unicorns back then.
Yeah, now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you're facing 2 a week if you're Holy Spirit so far. You faced 2 guys already this week.
Well, you can only go, everything's downhill from here, right? It's just a little bit easier. You had to climb, you kind of hit it, now you get to ride it down for a week or two, but not too many weeks because I think it's like May 5th or something is Mainland.
2-2 outside, and the count is now full. 2 on, 2 out. A 2-run inning here in the 7th. 6-0 Don Bosco. And they're trying to put this one away. A base hit here, probably plate 2 more for Alan Hernandez, the designated hitter. And that pitch is downstairs, ball 4. So 2 hit batsmen and now a walk.
I don't think he was too happy about that walk.
Yeah, he's thinking
threw
about
his,
that ride home, like you said.
Threw his shin guard down in disgust. He wanted to take some rips.
I'm taking some swings. So.
Hernandez walked, walked, singled twice and walked. So he's walked twice today, and that brings up Caden Dana, who I think was warming up in the Ironmen bullpen. So we might see him in the 7th. And by the way, he's not a small human being.
No.
The left-handed swinging Dana. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Not sure if there's any action in the Spartan bullpen.
He's a big kid. Holy cow.
Ball up and away. That pitch is fouled in my face.
You know the fence is there, but still the reaction.
2 balls and a strike, and they're going to run over there at first base. You're going to see John Pilla into the game and running for Hernandez.
Spears got number 13 up in the pen. Actually thought that was Spina, the other Spina. And then Johnny Pilla comes in to pinch run for the Ironmen, number 17.
That ball is hit to left. Solari spinning, turning, and then he comes in and calmly makes the catch. So Solari records the last out of the inning, but not before some more damage done. 2 across in the 7th. It's 6-0 Don Bosco. Shane Solari leads things off here in the bottom half of the 7th. Last licks for the Spartans. They trail 6-0 here at the Coaches versus Cancer Classic.
Gonna let the big fella finish it out here?
Definitely. Jaxel, fastball.
How do you think that talk went in the dugout? You want to come out? No, Coach.
I don't think
No.
the question was even asked.
You got anything left in the tank? We're at full, Coach.
I mean, I know almost every inning I'll say, "You all right? Are you all right?" And of course, but I don't think you need to ask Jaxel if he's okay.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
Solari, big hack, swinging a foul. He'll face Solari, Petros, and Hegeman here in the 7th.
Solari's the one guy who's actually looked comfortable against Jackson.
He's walked and singled. He is the only Spartan to reach base other than Ryan Spina and Gross and Egri. Egri singled. So Solari and Egri have the only hits of the day for the Spartans. One and two. And the 1-2 is ripped into left field, and it is foul. So Solari got a deuce, sat back on it.
Did a good job waiting back on that pitch. It's not an easy pitch to hit with 2 strikes.
No, nice piece of hitting. Just went down and went with it.
You can see him kind of recognize the spin as he started to swing and held up a little bit till it got there.
Ball and 2 strikes. Kevin Jaxel. Fastball got him, and Solari knew it. I'll take a burrito.
Sure thing. Be good right now. Some good eats at the concession stand for everybody that's here out at Mainland. Go on over. Got the grill going, I saw.
I'll be heading over there between games.
Information that would have been useful between innings.
Yeah.
Petros back through the middle, off of Jaxel's glove. Becker can't corral it, and he's on.
Another scoring quandary.
That's an infield single.
All right.
Off the glove of the pitcher. Can't expect the shortstop to make a play like that.
So Petros aboard. Hegeman saunters to the plate. The bottom of the 7th here. Spartans trying to mount a rally or at least tack some on. Get this offense going that was held to 1 hit on Tuesday and just 3 hits so far today on Saturday. That ball swung on and missed as Hegeman wasn't cheated.
No, he let that one go. That's for sure. Trying to ignite the spark with a late rally.
Fouled off. And that one's stuck in the fence.
Need one of those iconic 300 movie clips that the Spartans usually play over there during football season.
Right.
Spartans, prepare for glory.
You can have all the motivational speeches you want. You still got to get some hits off this pitcher.
You got that right.
Jaxel kicks. Blows one right by Hegeman for the 2nd out of the inning. Another strikeout. Seven strikeouts for Jaxel. He finished this game off with another. Ryan Spina walked and struck out. Pitch is high and in. 0 for 1.
I don't know if we have any laundromats that are sponsors of this fine event, but it'd be a good day for one. Man, there's a lot of things that are going to need some cleaning around here, including these pullovers.
Spina beats one into the dirt down the third base side and evens a count at 1-1. 2 away here in the 7th.
Got so much dirt and dust on my beard right now that I'm guessing gas up the barbershop around the corner probably wouldn't even want to touch me.
No, your hair is out. Well, you don't have any.
I don't have any hair, but the beard, I can only imagine what's in here right now. All this clay blowing with the pollen. I'm going to thank them for their sponsorship, however, for the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic here at Mainland.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Jackson flies to right, bending away, and still bending, but a nice play out in right field. And that'll do it for the Spartans here. And that'll do it for the game. Bautista brings it in, and Don Bosco travels down and picks up a 6-0 win over the Spartans here at the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic. And just a classic pitching performance by Kevin Jaxel, plus his 3-run bomb would make him
the player of the game. And the winner of a Mike Trout autographed baseball. So
That's some serious incentive, man, for these guys.
I mean, that's having a day. That is having a day. With the bat, with the arm. Not much left to say here on that one, Mike.
Yeah, and by the way, a great event. It's been a pleasure being here for these 2 games. We got 2 more still to come, 4 tomorrow. And, of course, great baseball, great programs, and Mainland putting all this on. Appreciate them and everything they've done. And there is Kevin Jaxel getting his Mike Trout baseball as he is the player of the game. It's just an excellent day. We'll have a 3rd game coming up for you in about a half hour from now here on BFA Sports. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everyone.